Hello there, everybody. This is Andre of GVGINU. Thank you very much for giving me your time and your ear, and I hope that you enjoy this idea that I'm going to give you. This one is actually an original idea from myself, though it is more along the lines of a spiritual successor to another game that's already come out. And that would be, if you've ever played Calling on the Wii, you'll understand what I mean. If you haven't played it, I suggest you pick it up. If you have a Wii or a Wii U, I suggest you pick it up. The game isn't it's a horror game, and it's not exactly the scariest game out there, but it does have a creepy atmosphere, and as you play it, you do get into it if you are paying enough attention to the events going on. I'll give you a brief synopsis of the game from what I remember of it, because I don't have it. I borrowed a copy from someone else. They had it, and I was like, that kind of looks interesting, and I remembered reading about it, so that's why I borrowed it from it. It's not a highly rated game. It's like a 7 to 5 range rated game, so expect to not have it be the best thing ever, but it's actually quite interesting. But from what I remember of the game, you played as different people at different times. I think you played mainly with this one girl, but I can't remember her name right now. But it's like this online website that people like. It's like a demonic website people would chat on and things like that, and they go missing. Certain people would just go missing because it was related to the death of this girl in a hospital. I'm sorry for that spoiler, but I'm not telling you really anything else outside. That's a major detail. But there are like the basis of this game is to use like a cell phone to communicate with dead people, or have dead people like call you and communicate with you. And when they would make phone calls, you would have to push a button, and you could hold the Wii remote up to your ear like a cell phone and hear what they have to say. I would just leave the speaker on loud and hold it away from my ear. I'm not having something yelling in my ear if I don't have to. But they would call you and leave messages depending on the situation. Whatever, certain things happen depending on what was going on, and you're walking around in this ethereal world that's like sort of like a recreation of real world places. But it's quite interesting. And now that I've rambled on about Calling for the Wii, let's get on to my idea, which is Call of the Damned for the Wii U. Now, the gamepad has several features to it that could be utilized in this idea that I have. Firstly, the microphone. And it does have speakers on it, but you'd probably be better off putting in a headset instead, so that you can listen to everything more clearly while you're playing the game. It also has the motion controls. So if you wanted to play it and look around like this in that type of atmosphere, you could, because it would require similar destinations. With that game, you walked around with a flashlight a lot. It would require those similar destinations, or destinations similar to those that were in the game, where you're just walking around in what would be real world places, but in sort of like either like a haunted place or something ethereal, just like Calling was on the Wii. What would make this idea unique is actually being able to communicate with the ghosts that are in the game. Now, I know someone's going to be like, how would you talk to them? Unfortunately, I couldn't put in a super wide range of options to be able to speak back to them, but say you are walking down a dark corridor, you found a cell phone and a flashlight, and you get a call on the cell phone from an apparition that's vengeful. May not have anything to do with you, it's just a vengeful spirit. But you answer the phone, it starts to speak to you. And then down on the gamepad, you'll get a list of options, a list of choices for things that you can say in response. And I mean literally speak these words back to it. That would be what makes it interesting. Like, you can speak these words to it, it can hear you, and then give a certain response to whatever your answer is or what you say to it. So this would actually require the Wii U gamepad to be utilized like a phone, but it gives you the choices here on the screen. Like, you get 3 to 4 choices depending on the situation of things that you can say back, and each thing that you say, well, everything that you say can affect the mood of the apparition that you're dealing with. If you find ways to calm it down, then you could potentially get through a situation unharmed, or you could flare up its rage and be chased down and hunted and have to try to fight it off. And that, to me, is like, that would make it so, that would be so much fun for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but just depending on how you respond to it, how you interact with it, like how you literally interact with it, it would do certain things. So you could be like a complete butthole to it, and then you have to worry about this raging beast just popping up out of nowhere to try to kill you. I mean, obviously you would have an opportunity to try to get away. There would not be any weapons in this game, though, so you'd have to keep that in mind. There would be ways to stop the ghost, but there would not be weapons necessarily. So, if depending on how you acted, and every ghost would have to have a different personality. So some people, for some ghosts, where something would be a nice thing to say to someone, it might actually piss them off because it reminds them of something bad that happened to them, or something, just something like that, just little quirks and things like that that would actually be kind of interesting. Too bad that Hudson Soft is no longer, I think, I don't think Hudson Soft is around anymore, because they're the ones that made Calling. It would be, I just wish I had the funding to do this. It would be so cool to be able to do this game. I just can't, which kind of sucks. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the idea. I mean, it's unusual, which probably wouldn't sell very well. But to me, I think it'd be an enjoyable experience, because it actually, to have to involve yourself in it, to actually have to involve me, the person, in it, would be fun. I meant to mention it because the Wii U has the camera on it. The Wii U gamepad has the camera on it. You would be like a random person in this world. So literally, you would take your picture of the gamepad and it would scan your face and make a copy of your face to put in the game. So it's actually you in the game. It's not just some person who's there who has a specified story. It's you now, and you're a part of the story. You're a part of the situation. You are there, which means you'd be naming your character and all that type of stuff. So it would literally be you, if that's what you wanted. It would be you in this game. It wouldn't be some character who we already know their determined plot line. We already know what's going to happen to them. And with a game like this, you would have to have multiple endings, obviously, because different interactions with ghosts will affect how the game ends and what happens to you in this game. And most of us would want to try to get ourselves out as unscathed as possible, but then there are those who would be like, well, I want to go and make sure I can pick with all the ghosts and see what happens. So it's an interesting concept, and it's one that I would love to see happen, though I just don't think it will, because I'm probably one of the few people with this type of idea. But it'd be interesting. I'd love to see it happen. It'd be cool. But either way, thank you very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff, and until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out.